still 20%, so get your head out your ass. I'm the antonym of the internet, still cleaning up the viruses that you had left. I think I'm falling in love again. Don't stop until you hear the I'm the antonym of the internet, been fighting on new grounds over if my love is valid. Fuck the cynicism, let the colors fly. Don't care, you think it's cringe because it's not your life. She said, do you like waffles? I said, hell yeah. Been watching Equals 3 until 2 a.m. I ain't got no iPhone, but I got a DS with a keychain, a pinky. Her cupcakes are the best. I've been failing my classes cause I don't give a damn. They say the world is my oyster, but the free market's a scam. Everything's been changing since last generation was born, and they won't try to take and change. Use a two-edged sword. I'm the antonym of the internet, still cleaning up the viruses that you had left. I think I'm falling in love again. Don't stop until you I'm the antonym of the internet, been fighting on new grounds over if my love is valid. Fuck the cynicism, let the colors fly. Don't care, you think it's cringe because it's not your life. It's never too late to fall in love with the world. Your past is not today, so say your stride with a twirl. Yeah, we've all made mistakes before, that's the fact of life. But once you restate your heart, you'll be just fine. Now it's your life, you say it's all mine, all mine. Revel in your friends and hobbies, let your heart speak. When a drifter says some shit, just block that internet freak. I'm the antonym of the internet, still cleaning up the viruses that you had left. I think I'm falling in love again. Don't stop until you I'm the antonym of the internet, been fighting on new grounds over if my love is valid. Fuck the cynicism, let the colors fly. Don't care, you think it's cringe because it's not your life.
Well, okay, there we go. For some reason, the loop deck was not flipping the proper boxes, so I guess I don't know why the scene transition worked, but that didn't. But hey, guys, welcome. Hello, Noah Mercer. Gods. Actually, DJ's, so I listened to DJ's music recommendations. They were both pretty good. Although I will say, the second one, not Propane, what was the second one? It was, Gods. Well, I added my Plex list, so I should know it. Frick, 1 second. I'm pulling it up because, like, the newest thing on my Plex. Morning Glory was pretty good, yeah. Oh, Mutie Pie. I know. The audio's on now. Audio should be on now. It's cool. We're cool. We're cool. It was muted for like half a second. Everything's good. Or not a half a second, but like, yeah. Chinese Bloodborne returns. Yes, Chinese Bloodborne does return, Nerd Dragon. And I am out of practice, so I'm probably going to get murdered a lot. Or maybe not, because I'm just instinctively good at Souls games. Perhaps. Perhaps. We shall see. Alright. So I went to the creepy glowing door, and I ended up back at Cloudspire, which means I've gone to loop. However, I did find something. So I went to this, like, creeping glowing door, and it asked me a weird question, and I ended up there. And I was in this other... I did, like, a little bit of it earlier today. Just trying to, like, get back into the zone. And I think this is some sort of, like, stage transition or bonus area, because I don't recognize this part of Cloudspire. But I'm not sure if this is actually progressing the plot. I need to find that other cave I was dropped into the teleport last time. I walked out of it, which was a mistake. So, sorry about that. Chinese Bloodborne, though. It really does feel a lot more like Bloodborne than a lot of the other Bloodborne comparisons I've seen. And I play Liza P, which might as well have been Italian Bloodborne. Grindel Z. Again, because while I missed Lucia, the next eliminated character is a small, petite animal-eared girl. Oh, joy! So, like, a character that represents a fourth of all Japanese media. Wonderful. I wonder actually, I am curious how old the trope of cat girls are in anime and Japanese culture. Like, I know that Nikomata is like a two-tailed demon. And I know that yokai could appear in human form. Like, they have the, what was it, Tsuchugiri, or, God, what's the name for the Japanese spider yokai? There's like a really there's a myth I know where it pretends to be like a beautiful woman, and she tells the woodskeeper to go away, and he's getting sicker and sicker, and then he's just like, no, I'm just gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and let the spider eat me. It's worth it on the off chance that it's not all a trap. Okay, so let's see, where the hell do I need to go? Oh man. Oh gods, I'm trying to remember like where the hell I was. Fuck me. I think I was over, I want to say I was by Hillswatch. So let's try and figure out like where in Hillswatch we are. I'm nearly positive that's where I was. God, I talked to like an old man and he teleported me to like a mysterious location, okay? And I know it was somewhere around here. I just need to figure out where exactly. So, I don't think it's here, but I'll check. It might be down here, but I don't think it is. But I will check just to be sure. If I can raise the currency in time, I am guaranteed her. That's nice. Sweet. So, how have you guys all been doing? I've been doing pretty well, to be fair. I actually had a bit of free time today, in between some other stuff I was working on. Not enough time to get, like, in deep into my projects, but I had, like, 30 minutes free, so I was like, I have Vampire the Masquerades Bloodlines, the video game. And I was like, you know what, I've been meaning to play it, because Masquerades Bloodlines 2 is about to come out, and it's a classic, and I should have played it a long time ago, you know, the usual reasons. Tell you, if you played Genshin, I thought it was grindy with resin. Genshin is paradise in comparison. Oh gods. When a mobile game's even worse than all the other mobile games. Okay, I think this is actually where I was. Then again, all these fucking mining tunnels look the same to me. Let's see if we run into any new items by continuing further down. Because if we run into new pickup items that are just on the ground, we'll know that... Alright, I can't hurt him. He's dead. He's dead. He's slumped over by the fire. But no, I started Bloodlines 2. Keyword being literally started. I didn't even finish the tutorial. Because I only had like 30 minutes. And then I had to start getting ready for stream. I will say, I can see why it's revered as a classic. Like, already, immediately, I can already see why it's revered as a classic. Mostly because it's actually really, really good. Just, yes, it looks old, and it's a bit buggy. Like, I already had a cutscene bug out, and NPCs vanish a bit, or animations not play properly. It's old, it's a little buggy, but the game has some really solid things going on there. As someone who did like a Chronicles of Darkness game and had to do like a character building for Chronicles of Darkness, doing the vampire build, it felt very similar. One of the things I did dislike a bit is that unlike the Chronicles of Darkness thing with my human build, I didn't get to like I didn't get really full, oh, and there I'm dead. I didn't really get full choices when it comes, you know what, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Because I should have a reset falling death somewhere around here. Where was my reset button? You know what? I've probably, let's just go to the reset button. It's a new month. It's new times. We should be able to reset. It's fine. Let's see here. Go to blah blah blah. Operating system maybe? Is it desktop options? I know I have a command for this stored away somewhere. Ah, here it is. Reset falling death. Let's reset it. And then add one. There's this community patch that tweaks the game but also restores content. Yeah. I've uninstalled the official patch with all of the stuff it has in it. I've done like the whole unofficial patch restore. Otherwise, because without it, it couldn't even load on Windows 11. Like, it actually just crashed the first time I pulled it up, and I'm like, oh right, it's a game from like the mid-2000s. I need to immediately add a patch for this. It's an old game, you know? Well, frick. I really need to just figure out where the hell I need to go, because I don't want to keep wandering around blindly. Alright, I really need to figure out, like, where to go here. I'm gonna pull up a guide on my phone real quick. Just to remember, like, where I was, not to, like, spoil the game, because that's boring. But I do want to know where the storyteller, or whatever his name is. He's the guy who's constantly narrating. I think he's called the storyteller. Let's see. It's... oh man, it's gonna drive me insane. So yeah, but you know, I've been playing it. I decided to do Tremere because they're like the blood mages, and you know me. If there's a mage option, I'm gonna fucking take it. Okay, so I think maybe I'm in the right place. Let's see. Oh, there are items here. Okay, I might be in the right place here. I might be in the right place, guys. All right, yeah, I was right that it sent me to Kill's Watch, and there should be a cave here we go down. So I think I might be in the right place. Holy shit. Okay, mister. You're very rude. Only I get to spam people with that. Oh shit! There's so many things around here. God damn, don't get gaslight though. It's up to you to OG experience or expand experience. I'm not aware of the content changes. Again, I just decide to do the unofficial patches because usually, generally speaking, unofficial patches are there for a reason. Like, if somebody was playing Skyrim, I wouldn't tell them to avoid the unofficial patch. I'd be like, install that bitch first thing. I don't care if it's your first untainted playthrough, you're gonna want the patch. And while I don't think Bloodlines necessarily, I'm not saying Bloodlines was necessarily automatically as buggy as Skyrim, with older games, age basically just equals bugs anyway. Like, Skyrim is basically already so buggy, it might as well be an old game. Okay, so we are in the right place now. I'm nearly positive. A feathered one.
With clearer thoughts than those mindless beasts.
That's a really nice spear, bud. Am I gonna get it by killing you in a boss fight?
It seems
probably not gonna use it because it doesn't look magical, but you know, looks cool. Looks cool. Not aware of the changes, but I heard they're heavy, but restore content makes you prefer it more. Yeah, and I had a similar experience with Knights of the Old Republic 2 back in the day when I played that. So, for those of you who don't know, Knights of the Old Republic 2 is legitimately just an unfinished game. I'm not going to mince words here. It has some of the best writing of any Star Wars thing in existence. It is like top tier Star Wars writing. If you want really well made, well fleshed out characters, nuanced plots, and actual moral gray area in a Star Wars fiction, Knights of the Old Republic 2 is your jam. It is also one of the most unfinished buggy games I have ever played all the way through. Okay, just need you from harm, any of these spirits find eternal peace. It is sold with one of the fan patches that was community made because the community fixed this game to begin with, and then there was another one. I think I got like the combination one because it gave me some options for like things like a toggle, and I just went ahead and toggled most of this stuff because none of it seemed like that big. But the Master Blade Bloodline Stigma. Okay, I'll have to see. I'll just see as I'm playing and like see if I feel like it's affecting me that much. I'll probably just go through the playthrough with whatever settings I currently have, to be fair. And then if I want to change it after the fact and see what it's about, I'll probably look it up. But, yeah. Knights of the Old Republic 2, though, I cannot recommend it enough. But I will say, download the fan patch, download the cut content patch. There's an entire side mission in this underground base with, like, a droid factory and shit that was basically entirely cut from the game. Because it was just that unfinished. Oof. Okay, so that was just a death jump. That was just a death jump right there. Damn it. And it adds a lot to it. There's a lot of, like, really good stuff. Again, Knights of the Old Republic 2 is one of the best Star Wars games ever made. It's one of the best pieces of Star Wars media ever made. As long as you get the patch. Once you get the patch, things are pretty good. You'll have a few bugs, but things are going to run mostly pretty smoothly. However, I've run into enough stuff like that I just stopped complaining about it necessarily. I warn people about it because they need to know to grab the patch immediately. But I don't really think it's like I don't rip. Yes, rip indeed. I don't really think it's a criticism on the media anymore because, yes, while some things are objectively unfinished, and Star Wars Knights of the Republic 2 does generally get to that level of, I think this is actually like almost unfinished. At least they released it and they have all the dialogue and most of the quest triggers still there. It just needs a few fans to patch it up. Where, like, it's like a Skyrim thing for me, where I prefer to at least have this piece of media with all the joy that entails, than not have it. Damn it. Old game, not the dev's fault. Knights of the Old Republic 2 is kind of the dev's fault. But for older games, they're kind of like that, in the sense of, if you need to get the patch, hey, look, they're old. You can't really blame old games for not being made for Windows 11, if that makes sense. Didn't know there was a combination one. Would be lovely because I'm a fan of Purist Cut. Plus, you know, vanilla with the neat additions. Yeah, because I had an unofficial patch, and then it was like, oh, by the way, do you also want to do this other thing that restores all this cut content and stuff? To have more stuff mod, not changing anything else, make it even harder. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's always been weird when you find a mod that's like, oh man, I would love this if only it didn't have this thing in it. Actually, when I was building, like, my Skyrim Ultra mod pack, when I was, like, piecing together what mods I wanted to have on in Skyrim, you know, what overhauls I wanted installed, there was a whole thing where I was like, man, I'd love this werewolf and vampire mod separately if they also had integrations and also I could turn off these things and make it more like this other mod pack. So I was trying to decide between, like, the ultimate overhaul pack, essentially, where all these different ones that went with each other. So there's just one mod pack with Ordinator that has, like, a bunch of overhauls. And then there's another one that has other stuff as well. Like, there are other individual overhauls for things like specifically werewolves and specifically vampires. But then there's also, again, the Ordinator pack, which has a bunch of different overhauls that are all tied in together. And I went with a lot of those, like the Summer Mist expansion, because it's really nice when all your stuff, like, works together and is designed to work together. I really cannot recommend the Ordinator, like, full-on mod pack experience enough. A lot of the mods work together pretty seamlessly. I will put a picture of a limited character I want in live stream Discord. Oh, let me see. Let me see what it looks like. I didn't select the live stream Discord. Oh my god, that is anime if I've ever seen it. God. It's like is that like a squirrel girl? No, it has to be. It's like a bear. It's like a bear girl. Oh gods. Is that a oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Typical pain of modding dilemma. Yeah, but once you get a set of mods that work well together, boy oh boy, can it be amazing. Like, when you get all the mods working properly and everything just, like, clicks, games can feel entirely different. Legitimately. Like, Skyrim, I can't play normal Skyrim anymore because the mod packs are just so good. One of the cool things now is you don't really have to worry about that as much because, like, mods are available on console. Granted, not, like, full-on Skyrim script extender mods, I don't think. But, yeah, that does limit it a bit. Let's just say I don't really play Skyrim on console. However, even just, like, unofficial patch mods, I generally install, despite what game I'm playing, just because I'm not going to say no to more bug fixes. Well, unless they patch out exploit I was really, really abusing. Then I might think about it. Come on, don't tell me none of you have ever briefly turned off the unofficial patch, just so you could use the alchemy exploit again. Don't lie to me. We've all done it. Tiger girl. Okay, it was a tiger girl. Specifically a tiger girl. Got it. So still a Nico cat girl, just with a tiger flair. Oh my god, it's the MGS ladder all over again. What's the longest ladder you've ever had to climb in a game? I think MGS's ladder is probably the longest anyone's ever applied, but aside from the MGS ladder, I mean. Because I feel like that one's cheating, because everyone knows about it, and a few people have even... Like, I haven't even really played the game, I just know about that ladder. I haven't really played that one, so I haven't technically encountered that ladder, but I don't exploit my games. I don't exploit my games. You don't want to see big number go up? I know, fair. And to be fair, I don't really do it anymore. Mostly because it's been patched out even in the basic Skyrim edition now, with the Legendary edition. But also just because I've played the games enough time and actually want a bit more of a challenge than the first time I played. Oh man, oh man. But yeah, it's crazy. I think the most recent long ladder climb I can think of is in Liza P. There's this one ladder that goes on for like a while. I think it was like half a minute or something like that, I found. It's when you're like crawling out of the depths of, I think, the church or whatever. Okay, we finally found a new shrine. Good gods. Wondrous, wondrous. I'm actually getting through these... Well, I actually got through an area without using all of my healing potions. That was pretty cool. Am I just getting good at the game? I exploited the hell out of my games. Dude that plays Hades one day and finds build that makes you unkillable. Let's speak for... Well, Hades isn't really even about exploiting the game. It's about just randomly rolling the dice into an OP build and then knowing which things to choose to make the dice roll even more likely. Although, to be fair, getting too laser focused on recreating dice rolls in Hades can be, like, really detrimental. Oh, wait, these are those some... Okay, wait. It's teaching me. The game is trying to teach me things. This is the game already taught. I love it when games do this. I love when they teach you something in one level, and then they want you to try and So we've got the we got the summoner up there. Shit. How am I supposed to get to him? Okay, so they're trying to teach me that the summoner is to be dealt with first, but then they place the summoner in this unreachable fucking asshole position. Fireball! Oh, god damn it. Okay, I don't like that. Vorpal Blade. Can I hit you or not? Seriously. Okay, I can. Wow, that's gonna be annoying. Okay, so I'm gonna have to deal with him. Otherwise, he's gonna keep summoning enemies. Guess it was involving the luck stat and some tanky stuff. With regen, they made you deal damage to you, and at least you get it regenerated immediately. You literally won the game, lol. Oh, yeah, I've had that whole thing. Oh, there's an area off to the side over here. That makes some sense. Alright, well, let's go grab my, like, currency real quick, so we don't waste all that. And then we will just run back to the shrine and heal. You know, reset the area. Enter the dream. I ran into a build where I was able to essentially, like, heal myself every time I killed something. And I got into, like, this really good run of just keeping my health topped off. I also had this other one where it was I was able to constantly set status of, like, when anything else you constantly apply status effects and have status effects spread en masse is really nice. That was definitely one of them. Although I did have some times where I was just able to do like a lot of area of effects damage really quickly with things like Zeus's lightning bolts, which could just cascade outward into shit. That was also really cool. It's been a while since I played Hades though, so that's why the combos I'm thinking of are pretty vague. assholes. Stop it. Bad. Lotus Soul Flame. Oh wow, I'm finally getting some like priestly magic, I guess. Lotus Soul Flame. Oh no, this is magic. The golden lotus flames explode in all directions. Ooh, that cost a lot of... Holy shit. This makes the Taoist space laser look cheap. Yes, this is the Taoist space laser now. It's beautiful. Thunderstorm. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so we've got like different types of magic now. We've got like a good arsenal of arcane sorcery. There isn't a lot of feathering magic, which does support my hypothesis that feathering is sort of like a priest build, where you don't necessarily have a lot of like useful spells, but you do have others. Well, actually, wait, here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so you only have 4 feathering spells, which is pretty small compared to the others. Compared to like the magic build. Haha. I also remember playing Pyre and enjoyed tweaking Team to make an all-around powerhouse. Yeah, but the Pyre one is frustrating because Pyre actually is a very well-designed game, and I actually really enjoyed it. I need to do more rounds and finish up the actual like full story quests, because I've done the playthrough like I've freed like 2 of, or no, I've freed 3 of my people now. But now I'm like keeping around some high-level people. Because I'm keeping around, like, well, who's the one who's been on the team for the longest now? I think, the Demon Lady, I think. No, I let the Demon Lady go, I think. It's either the Demon Lady or the guy who's, like, the generic human. And I've been keeping them both around. One of the 2 of them around. I'm trying to remember if I let the Demon Lady go or if I let the generic guy go. And I was keeping one of them around because I just kind of need some people I've leveled up, but Pyre also makes you want to let them go, because that's how you get their story arc complete, and it's really awkward that, like, two of the main trio have been set free, and then I let some newbie leave early. It's a little weird. And I have a feeling that if they had the voice lines for it, my friend would be mildly disappointed in me. Actually, I think there might have been 1 or 2 voice lines about how, oh, I'm sure you'll eventually let me go, or something like that. Or I'm sure you'll eventually choose me. Oh my god, all the corruption. God damn it, where's the wizard? Where's the wizard? There he is. Oh my god. Must you continue to spam the freaking golden lotus at me? Alright, there we go. Kill him before he spams it again. I say as I spam the Vorpal Blades. That's the beauty of it. You will grant them the sweet leaf they deserve, so you're going to keep them because they are, look how powerful they are. And it also is, like, not a great idea to, like, let the other people go first either, because they have their own, like, subplots going on that you want to, like, actually let them flesh out and do, like, a full character dive in, so you want to go through their full quest line before you let them go. So you don't want to let people go too early either, so you can't just offload the weakest members and keep the old ones around. Like, there is going to be a point, I think, in, like, 1 or 2 sessions where I'm going to want to actually let the older one go, because I haven't finished fully, like, developing my relationship with the new ones. It's a really good game, though, because the fact that I both want to let them go and don't want to let them go, and I'm feeling this sort of in gameplay and without, is very good. It's very good ludonarrative synchronicity, which I talked about a bit when it came to Expedition 33, which is really good at that. But, like, also, that game is really, really strong with it. I like it. I like it when games make you feel the plot from the emotions you feel when you're playing it are the emotions the characters feel in it. Ooh, were you gonna spam people while I was trapped in the blood pit? Naughty little bastard. Bloodborne taught me too well. Actually, this is kind of funny. This is something Bloodborne did too. Also, This is so the weird summoner guys are something Bloodborne actually did. They would have the bell-bearing ladies, which were these old withered crones who would ring a bell and summon monsters and shit at you. They also were like the PvP envoys, so wherever one of the special red-eyed ones were ringing a bell was a place you get invaded. And the in-game places where you get invaded were absolutely places you did not want a human player tracking you down in. Bloodborne could be very mean when it felt like. Such as that fucking Frenzy Nightmare place. Well, I recommend it. I'm aware of how compelling Supergiant games. I've seen their stuff before. I know how compelling they are. I think I played. I haven't played it, but I've seen playthroughs of Bastion, which looked really cool. Not the Bastion, Bastion. And I'd heard of Pyre before. Before you mentioned it, I had actually heard of it before. Mostly from, I think, Zero Punctuation back in the day when I used to watch a lot of their videos. Just because it stuck out. He had mentioned it was like really good story and also 3-on-3 basketball fantasy game, which I was like, okay, weird, probably not in my wheelhouse. But like turns out it's very much in my wheelhouse and I would definitely like to play more of it. Which just goes to show you should try like everything. You should give everything a shot. Because you never know if you'll actually like something or not until you give it a shot and play it. I mean, that's how I know I'm not really a fan of, like, military shooters, because I've given them a shot a few times. I'll play military shooters. I'll even play the multiplayer occasionally. I'm just not a fan of them. Not a huge fan. Ah, hello, bird. I'm still not sure what the golden feathers are for. Like, these Arum feathers, I'm still not sure why I'm collecting them. I haven't run to anything that's really supposed to use them, I don't think. So it's a little weird. Damn it! I was trying to kill him quickly. I was too reckless. The game was expecting me to do this. This was stupid of me. This was stupid. To be fair, I was also trying to sneak up on him, and the game just was like, nope, sorry, he automatically hears you. You're not allowed to be stealthy. I know you're like a fucking ninja pirate warrior, but we're gonna say no, you can't sneak up on this man. Sorry, you're not allowed to sneak up on him. Fuck you, game. I can sneak up on other heavily armored warriors. I can sneak up on this man. Who are you to declare that I'm not a ninja? Just because I'm not Japanese. You can be a ninja without being Japanese. It's called just being a bastard. Little stealthy bastard. Military shooters have the problem with how limited they are in single player, at least. Call of Duty is like a roller coaster ride. I mean, but like I can argue that it can be interesting. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's, you know, this is really starting to remind me more and more of the Nightmare Mensis the more I'm playing it. Like, older Call of Duty games had some mildly entertaining campaigns, even if they were mostly roller coaster rides. To be fair, World War II is a lot more spectacle, and you can get a lot more out of it without having to worry about, like, complex moral issues or going to the sci-fi future. But also just, like, Battlefield has had, like... Then again, most of what I've heard about Battlefield is just that the game is... the multiplayer is amazing right now. Alright, we got him. I was hoping to be able to get the critical hit on that, but... Damn. You can have fun military shooters. I'm not saying it's impossible. Mostly because shooter games can be fun, and military shooters are just shooters with specific restrictions. I'm trying to think of a military shooter I've, like, kind of enjoyed. See, the thing is, I'm just not the kind of person that enjoys them. I know there are people that like them, and I know there are definitely people who would kind of enjoy them. And they don't probably have to be roller coaster rides. Like, there can obviously be shooter campaigns that can mix things up with different restrictions and limitations, you know, maybe having vehicle segments to break it up. I mean, let's be real. Halo is just a military shooter with lasers and aliens. If it's not interesting if you don't have lasers and aliens, then it's not really... Then you're basically just saying Halo's a boring spectacle piece. And I think Halo is a legitimately good game that has some fun stuff going on for it. Then again, Halo also gives you fun jumpies and lots of speed and shields and other like weird bullshit. Okay, maybe a bad example on that one. Because it does take away most of the restrictions that military shooters make military shooters boring. Like hiding behind cover as the jam removes.
Spoke of a resurrection ritual at Zhenwu Temple. Strange.
It's like Mia Souls-like, just not my jam. Yeah. World War II shouldn't even be supposed to be called World War II. See, this game is part of Sledgehammer universe. First World War, Black Ops 0 with ongoing narrative and zombies and all.
I'll check your old home. Let's meet.
Wait, I had a house? I thought I was a pirate. The game literally said, oh god, I missed. Check my old home. Okay, so I might have missed some dialogue there while I was talking to you guys. I guess I used to live around here though. Okay, cool. The game's summary I could have sworn said I was like an amnesiac pirate though. Maybe I was like a state-sponsored pirate, perhaps? Or maybe this is just like where our base was? Oh hey, it's the old guy again. How you doing, old guy?
I came through the pass, and as I approached the forest,
The illusions intensified.
the monster must
Open levels, much more action-packed gameplay, closer to
My
Doom
long
2016,
search
the
has
old
finally
console
come to an
pass.
end.
That, I did
Now,
admit that, I did admit
I
that.
solely find
Something in
solace.
particular you don't like in them.
You possess great strength. Will you join me in the forest to end this demon? Should I fall prey to bewitchment?
Oh, you're gonna go insane. You're gonna fall under its spell and I'm gonna put you out of misery. Hey, if you die, do I get that really cool looking spear with the dragon on it? Because I will definitely agree to put you out of your misery if it means I get that really cool looking spear. I'm not gonna use it. I'm gonna like put it on my pirate treasure hoard. You know, mount it on my like cabin wall or something. I'm not really a spear person. I'm more of a one-handed magic user. You know, magic in the left hand, sword, mana regenerating sword in the main hand, that kind of thing. But I would really like to mount that spear on my wall. The dragon motif really does it for me. So there's some sort of demon that's bewitching people. I do have to admit, this does feel like I just walked into the Feywilds. The ethereal glow, all the foliage grew lush and green, and also there are distant fairy lights calling me into a cave. Yeah, this is definitely demon or fairy luring you away into this deep domain. I can see why people become bewitched. It's rather beautiful. Also... Oh, shoot. No. Bird. You know, sometimes I only find these because I literally hit lock on, and I'm meaning to lock on to something else. Like, for example, that demon right there. Which, that is a big monster. So this is a boss fight I'm going to be wandering into. This is, I gotta say though, as a boss fight set piece goes, following this mysterious winged figure into the Feywilds is kind of cool. Like, I'm literally chasing after the boss that's definitely going to turn around and try and eat me or something. But I can totally see why people would be enchanted to following it. High-def art style does nothing for me. Too murky. Hitboxes are funky. Hitboxes are funky, I will agree with. Hitboxes can be very funky. I like more responsive controls and slower-paced strategy games. Yeah, that's always something you've been like more into. You've been more into like choose your options strategy and like dialogue stuff where you don't necessarily need to be quick. I mean, hell, one of my favorite like recent visual novel style games was literally a game where you had to choose options quicker because you were doing it in the middle of a song. It was like a build your own musical kind of thing. Okay, I got killed. Meanwhile, you generally prefer, yeah, that makes sense. You prefer like puzzle games or platformers where you don't always need quick reflexes and you can take your time on some jumps. You don't like RTSs either. Yeah, I'm the RTS person. You are more of like a what, 4X game where it's, you know. Also, I thought I made it further. I thought I had a shrine there. Did I not activate the shrine? Shit. I'm gonna go through all the way through here again. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Really should have gone to activate the shrine first. Oh shit. Oh, I got insta-killed. So this is like the Nightmare of Mensis. Oh my god, these are just the Winter Lanterns combined with the Bell Bitches. Wow. They combined two of the most annoying things in Souls together. The Summoner enemy combined with the Winter fucking Lantern. Although you guys don't have the same instinctive terror as the Winter Lantern. If you don't know, if you've never played Bloodborne, the Winter Lantern is by far the most terrifying thing From Software has ever done. They put these enemies at a distance so you don't have a lot of room to get away from them, and they are specifically designed to murder you by looking at you. They kill you by staring at you. It is nuts. The Winter Lantern section in Bloodborne is by far one of From Software's masterpieces, but also, yeah, they overdid just a tad. Just huge. Terrible at 4X games, but I do like playing them. Till I meet another country. EA meet another country. Funky to me. No amount of discussion will change that. To be fair, I'm bad at RTS games. I'm not good at RTS games, I just like playing them. Like, when it came to Warcraft 3, the reason I talk about scenario modes is because that's what I was, better at. I could actually play scenario modes and do pretty well on occasion. I wasn't great at, the basic Warcraft 3, though. I actually tried to go on a few matches, because I had done a few matches with, people I knew on, LAN connections. Because there was, a place where I could go do, LAN parties when I was younger. It was called Game Land. It was actually really cool. It was basically a summer camp slash daycare slash, essentially gamer hangout spot that you could drop your, parents could drop their kids and teenagers off and they could just play video games while they went to go do something. And they did, a summer camp in the summer. They had, PCs and several TVs with different consoles hooked up to them. And people would literally just do LAN parties all day. It was fucking amazing. Unfortunately, things happened and it shut down. I still don't know how it shut down. We just went to go sign up one summer and it was already gone. But it's where I learned about a lot of games that I wouldn't have otherwise, like Warcraft 3. The child in the jar is making some weird noises. I'm sorry. That is really fucking weird. Here's a Steam Bunny. Made me into Souls. I stumbled across one combat video of fighting system compelling much. I had always kind of liked action RPGs. And I heard that the Souls... And I got into, a kind of a completionist mindset when I was in college. You know, where I wanted to, 100% games. I started looking for more challenges. And I heard how tough Dark Souls was. And so, obviously, I strode up to it I just beat, Darksiders 2 on fucking ultra hard mode. I can totally beat Dark Souls. Got my ass whooped a bit at first. The Asylum Demon... I didn't realize you had to run past the Asylum Demon for a few attempts. Which was a little embarrassing. Just a little embarrassing. Anyway, after I figured it out,
You've
done great deeds
in Cloudspire and gained my respect in kind.
You really are the
I
Solaire, bro.
thought that things would improve with Ainunchi's demise, but this place is as damp. Who cares?
Complaining won't do a thing.
The world's second strongest warrior won't be giving up so easily.
Good job, man. Although he's the second strongest warrior, I assume that's because I exist and I helped save him. Humility in a prideful rival is always appreciated. Alright, let's go back down to the Feywild's place and figure out what the hell happened. I'm assuming since I died once, the old man went down there and is now corrupted. Cool. Anyway, so I got to Dark Souls, and by the time I was finished with it, I was like, yes, more please. Because, while I did like completing games, there was something really exhilarating about 100%ing Dark Souls, because I didn't have to do a fucking hard mode that was just the damage sliders and all the enemies as bullets. The damage sliders turned up to max, and all the enemies as bullet sponges. You know what I mean? It was really fulfilling. In a way that not a lot of other games are. Oh shit. Fireball. Holy shit, this thing really is a mini-boss, isn't it? Look at it, it's taking out Vorpal Blades like they're nothing. Although it is going after the other enemies around here, which is kind of cool. Speaking of difficult, Ninja Gaiden became my crack. Radiant Red Feather. Well, I killed it. Took like multiple flaming halberds up its ass and a fireball and a bunch of Vorpal Blades, but it's finally dead. When you have to expend your entire mana bar multiple times and a boss health bar doesn't even have the courtesy to show up. Difficulty in content. It doesn't always need to be off cards, but it makes it genuine at least. Yeah, like, even with the Anor Londo archers, which I will still declare to this day are bullshit to an extent. The Dark Souls felt like a very fair game. I wasn't dying because I turned the difficulty up a little too high. I was dying because I wasn't approaching the challenge with either the right mindset or I wasn't dodging properly. Any failings were of my own design. So when it killed me, I felt like, okay, this is not the game that's bullshit, it's me that's bullshit. I need to figure out what I'm doing to not be bullshit. So I learned. And I grew to enjoy cheesing in a way I didn't in other games. When I learned how to, like, cheese a boss, I felt like I had discovered its secret weakness. Not that the game had broken and I was taking advantage of the poor thing as its eyes stared cross-eyed into the middle of the distance. No, I found a spot that the giant demon couldn't reach, and I was gonna throw firebombs at it, goddammit. It was a very weird feeling. After, like, so long just 100%ing other games in some of the most obnoxious ways possible. Devil May Cry and Sekiro and Mega Man, all that enjoyable as they are, yeah. Dark Souls felt like it was fun. It was fun to 100% it. And I remembered why I enjoyed 100%ing games. It wasn't just because I wanted to fully beat a challenge. It was also because I enjoyed seeing all that a game had to offer. Man, and Dark Souls had some shit to offer. Holy shit. Although, I will say, one of the things I did grow a bit annoyed about over time was the whole From Software thing of, I'm sorry, you need to beat the game 3 times in order to unlock all the legendary weapons. Dark Souls was specifically, you had to get to the 3rd playthrough in order to unlock everything. Because you had Artorias, who had not Artorias, but Sif, who had three goddamn items you could make out of its boss soul in order to get everything legendary. To be fair, you don't technically need it, and in modern Dark Souls games, you can just trade for stuff if you don't want to replay it like 5 times, which is fine. Or you can do like item duping shenanigans, which aren't really as big of a deal, especially after the first playthrough. The thing with Dark Souls is, even if you item dupe, you're not really like breaking the game. There aren't many consumables in a From Software game that'll be the difference between like the game being easy or being hard. Even in Dark Souls 1, having like 99 humanity stored away, yeah, it could get rid of a lot of the attrition segments of Dark Souls, and as I got better at the game and I stopped dying in human form, I accumulated a lot of humanity, and I was regularly popping humanity. Nowadays, when I play Dark Souls 1, I regularly pop humanity as like a healing item, which younger me would have looked at me and been like, What are you doing, you fucking madman? Those are not heal items. They heal as a side effect. That is not their main purpose. They are goddamn currency. You are wasting this. You're going to die, and you're going to waste it. But now I'm like, a free full heal? Yes, please. Because I'm confident that I'm not going to ruin it. This is what makes it all good. That being said, Ninja Gaiden changed perspective. Figuring this game may be figuring out to become actual ninja for what I care. Fair most of the time at that. I will be honest, I've heard that Ninja Gaiden can get a little bullshit at times. Just a little. Just a little. I feel like I'm going to be going insane when I play Ninja Gaiden. Like, every time I've wanted to play Ninja Gaiden, I've had this, like, weird feeling. I found refuge on Mount Zenwu. Safe for now, yet hunger encroaches. Forage for wild herbs and roots in the journey. They must sustain us. Beware bloodsuckers that dwell in the woods. Tread carefully, my dear. Oh yeah, he's dead. Sorry about that. So we had the Parasite people. Dark Souls and Bloodborne did it first. Bloodborne's version of this was particularly fucked up because it had the snake people with the snakes coming out of their heads. This is going for like the very Dark Souls-esque Quelaag Demon Ruins thing with the eggs. Alright, I'm gonna like stream my billionaires just using their humanity as a full heal. I mean, it's not like I got the humanity for free. I got the same amount of humanity as everyone else. I was just good enough at the game to not utilize it as just currency. Because I didn't die as often. Oh yeah. Holy shit, those things were tough. But yeah, once you're good enough at the game and you're not like afraid you're gonna waste your humanity, goddamn can it be like the best healing source in the entire game. It's a little slow, but it's a full heal. And you can carry around 99 of them with you at once. If you can master it, and you know where the farming spots are, especially in the late game, where you have like all those shards of humanity floating in the abyss, holy shit, you could just have infinite heals. It's also really disgusting because it gave you essentially 99 heals in multiplayer. Oh boy, there's nothing like as an invader better. There's really not a better feeling as an invader than the person you're invading thinking that they've got you figured out. Only for you to pop a humanity and just, like, utterly wreck them. Fight, of course. The doppelganger fight? Are you talking about in Dark Souls or in... No, not Dark Souls, because Elden Ring has a doppelganger. Actually, the Elden Ring doppelganger fight is really funny. If you've never fought... So, if you've never fought the Mimic Tier, here's a hint. Unequip everything. The Mimic Tier will then be naked. That is a legit strategy. It is the best strategy. And the funniest. Then you can just equip a knife and win the fight. Oh man, I love that. I love walking into the Mimic Tier fight full on naked and then pulling out a fucking knife and owning it. Because you can just hard equip it right after you're in the fight. And once it's summoned, it won't be able to do anything. One of the really cool things, though, is once you get the Mimic Tier summon, the Mimic Tier summon is like the best summon for a lot of reasons. But one of the really dumb things about it is that you can actually utilize it to essentially give yourself unlimited healing. In addition to all the other busted stuff, the fact that it can basically be you, but essentially another version of you being controlled by an NPC. It also can essentially allow you to heal. Because what it can do is you can either equip it with healing spells. And remember, whatever you have equipped at the time will be what it's using. So if you're not a magic user, but you have a bunch of faith, you can just put on the healing spells, give it only a catalyst and maybe a sword, and it will start spamming healing spells. It's pretty cool. bosses are underwhelming compared to standard encounters. Except doppelgangers, because you know, this little doppelganger from Symphony of the Night, style minus hurtful touch. Oh shit, I healed too soon. The poison hadn't gone. It's really interesting that poison actually causes your max health to reduce too, which is really fucking annoying. Because even after you've cured the poison, you actually have to wait a second, otherwise you won't get the full heal from your flask. Very frustrating, but a cool mechanic. I have a bad feeling whatever's down here is going to be a poison-themed boss, and I'm going to be really annoyed with it. Alright. Got him. Okay, I can't destroy that thing. It's just a light. Something I'm disappointed with ZZZ, with Triple Z, is they have no lolly characters like Klee. They got Patiki. Dude, come on, don't ask for the lolly characters. Why? Why do you want the lolly characters? We're all trying to not think about those characters. Oh, Dawnseeker, you disappoint me. You disappoint me, my boy. You disappoint me. Not having a lolly character should be a point in the game's favor. They are cute. But the internet is a very cruel place. Oh man. Maybe I'm just too corrupted by all of like anime's other excesses. Maybe I can't imagine pure and innocent lolly characters. All I can hear is take 4d4 psychic damage. Reasons Ninja Gaiden is sometimes considered bullshit. No, but God. No, but like, anime has a bad habit of like doing the thing where they take an elf that looks like an underage girl and then says, oh no, it's fine, she's actually 3,000. You know, that trope. So it makes you look at lolly just a little askew at all times. Reason Ninja Gaiden is sometimes considered bullshit. People expect a typical video game challenge. What happens is the player being disadvantaged because enemies more. Yeah, video games do tend to have the thing where the player is greater. She was 17. Thousands. God damn it. Oh shit. Oh god, so I'm into like a really long complex level. It's generally used as a way to just like, fine, whatever. That's on you, Ramble. You can't differentiate the two. I just think the lolly one is a little weird. Anyway. Oh, shit. Okay. What are we doing here? Jail is just a place. Age is just a number. Jail is just a place. Oh man. That's on anime. That's not lolly being a sin in my... Being lolly is not a sin in my book. As long as it's cool and not weird. Fair. fair. Lolly with a big hammer would be so cute. I mean, that is fair. And, like, the trope can be done okay. Like, I'd actually say, like, weirdly enough, especially given how messed up the situation is just as a whole. The whole way Invincible does its Lolly with the whole monster girl thing is, like, mildly well done. Just, like, the way it's like, yeah, it makes dating really fucking weird if you constantly look like a child. And then she ends up hooking up with Robot, who's, you know, essentially cloned a younger version of Rex. Which must be really awkward when he starts growing up, because now Rex is dead, and his girlfriend is mourning his loss. That's gotta be just, like, all sorts of weird. And they're all on the same team. Amy Rose from Sonic got you covered. Wait, really? Oh, I'm sorry. I was like, oh, well, you were talking about Big Hammer. I was like, wait, is she 1,000 years old or something like that? No, Big Hammer. Big Hammer. But he might not be a furry. Wait, no. He showed us the Tiger Girl just now. He's definitely a furry. What am I saying? God damn it. Frick. Flash. Alright, got him. Poison. Look at Pony Avatar and tell me he isn't a furry. Dude, you have a Pony Avatar and you send us pictures of animal girls. I don't know what else to tell you. You don't even have the me thing where it's like, at least it's not attraction or something like that. Oh. Holy shit, those little spiny assholes. Fucking clams. Been a while since I've seen evil clams. Dark Souls did them. Dark Souls did it. From Software did it. From Software did it first. Lol. Lol. Sonic barely classifies as furries, to be real, until Rogue. No, wait, you know what? Never mind, I'm showing up this instance. Yeah, you better. I don't think you understand just how do you know how extensive the Sonic Expanded cast is? Because I played Battle Adventures 2. I've seen all the fucking bullshit. I've seen past Battle Adventures 2 too. Dude, TDL is also coming to terms with it. Like, dude, Sonic is like ground zero furries. It's like furries before furries were like super a thing. Or not so much they were super a thing, but they were super well known. It's like where it was like a breeding ground of the modern furry. You could like a show about pastel color ponies and not be a degenerate. Yeah, but we didn't just use that. Dawnseeker, we're not just using one data point here. We're using multiple data points. It's not just that you like MLP. You can like MLP and not be a furry. That is entirely correct. But you also really, really like cute animal girls. Sumeria is ground zero for furries. How is Sumeria ground zero? They weren't even doing the whole fucking animals thing back then. I mean, Enkidu was like a wild man, but he was more like Tarzan than anything. I don't really see what you're talking about here. I mean, Greece, sure. Abso-fucking-lutely. But, like, I'm not sure about Sumeria. Egypt as well. Sure. Greece, Egypt. Maybe. Sumeria, I'm just not seeing it. I don't have the context for a lot of myths. I mean, yes, there was the Bull of Heaven, but that was like a destructive beast Ishtar sent down when Gilgamesh wouldn't date her. Like, Gilgamesh was like... I mean, you want to talk about gay central? Yeah, Gilgamesh and Enkidu for life, apparently. But, like, furry central? No. No. Isn't furry material. Okay, okay, Dawnseeker. Sure. Greece, though, yeah, by the time Greece comes around, I'm thinking, it's either Greece or Egypt. And I think Greece and Egypt were, in their own ways, different ground zeros. There were multiple explosions that created this. Greece was its own central area of this particular phenomena. Running away, running away. We don't want to fight both little mini-bosses. With animal ears and a tail that isn't furry. Look up the furry chart. How is our conversations always end off in these directions? One of them was like looking over the edge at me. That was kind of cool. Oh look, I found the edge of their AI. So this is where they stop checking on me. These pre-Sumerian lizard people figurines were made with literally no reason. I stand corrected. I stand corrected. Okay, never mind. Can we at least say it didn't hit, like, super wide popularity until then? Although, to be fair... Lizard people, lizard people. Gosh, I'm trying to think if there are any... I mean, experts would probably know if it was related to Tiamat or Abzu. And Anu was, like, big head god. And a pony is level 5. God damn it. Holy shit. God damn, there's so many frickin' enemies. Oh, Sumerian furry boy kisser. Oh. Ishtar was a badass. She was also very petty. Actually, I'm currently reading Sumerian mythology, urban fantasy, and I'm surprised they haven't brought up the lizard people yet. That would probably be a really fun thing to bring up. Since we have a living survivor with fucking Gilgamesh, goddamn asshole. Alexander, his eldest son, is also a bit of an asshole. Although I feel a bit of pity for him now. Oh look, it's the Dark Souls clam thing! Can I like spam the button to get out? Oh no, doesn't seem like they have that. Asshole clam. I stole a pony avatar, provided the fan, and they got me on suicidal depression. Sorry for getting a bit heavy there. It's fine, dude. It means a lot to you. I'll expand on that. Alright. Anyway. Moving on from there. What are some, like, weird Sumerian mythology stories? Let's see. There isn't a lot from Sumerian mythology, mostly because we just don't have a lot. Most of what survives is either related to the Epic of Gilgamesh or a handful of other stories that are scattered, and I don't really know many of them well. I was hoping to add some more Sumerian mythology, but I just don't have as much. I do have the interesting fact that Ishtar eventually got synchronized into Aphrodite. Gonna raise you in TDL for it is all. Look, as long as like you all can accept I just don't have any sexual interest in dragons, then I'm just fine. I'm fine. I've learned to live with it. I'm coming to terms with it, Fred. You've said enough times at this point that you've made enough decent points that I can no longer deny the basic core premise. Also, I'm officially dressed up in a dragon costume now, so I don't. My last kernel of deniability has slowly faded away from me, unfortunately. I feel very pained admitting that. Oh shit! Oh my god, I actually survived. Yes, I dressed up in a dragon costume for Halloween because I had to go to my brother's wedding this past weekend, and they had the rehearsal on the 31st. So I actually got to wear a costume instead of a suit, at least for the rehearsal. There are so many sexual furries, too. Wait, run that again? Oh, yeah, so for my brother's wedding rehearsal, they decided to actually do something cool and not stuffy and boring, and let us dress up in costumes. I was worried I was going to be one of the only people who decided to do it, but apparently, like, a lot of actual people a lot of people on my brother's fiance's, or I guess wife's side of the family are actually pretty cool, and most of them dressed up. Unlike most of my family who did not. So I dressed up as Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon. There's just like a really nice little like one-piece Toothless costume that was really comfortable. That I got it's technically bought on Amazon, but it was actually from a company that does like these like one-piece outfits very well. And so I've kept it as like a Halloween costume for the future too. I've never worn any suit. Sister-in-law. Yes, sister-in-law. Brother's wife is sister-in-law. I should know this. I've charted out familial relations before. Anyway, she's officially my favorite sibling. Very scientific for how deep in depravity you are. Oh. Anyway, so, yeah, I do own a Toothless costume now. I don't have one of those, like, really weird head things. It's just like a hood with, like, the eyes and, like, the weird frill things on it. Pretty basic. And it was for Halloween, which is the acceptable time to dress up as a dragon. It's the socially acceptable period to dress up as things. Actually, one of the things I mentioned, because I am kind of like the fun facts person in my family, and one of the funny things I did bring up was the way that Christianity, because people were like, what was it? I was in a conversation with somebody recently about Halloween, and they were talking about how someone they knew didn't celebrate Halloween because it was like satanic or whatever, and I'm like, bitch, Halloween is essentially the sanitized version of a holiday that was the sanitized version of a holiday. It's the Old Hallows Eve, which was already sanitized. Not that thing. Not that abomination, no. No. That is not what I wore. Not at all. That's a little much. The full-on mask is a little much. Which was itself a Christian replacement for Samhain, because Christianity decided, hey look, all these pagan holidays are like bumming out the vibe. We need to we need to make sure all our holidays like kind of overlap with them so that people will celebrate our stuff and then forget about the old traditions. There was actually a whole thing with that. Like, for example, Easter kind of overlaps with Ostrava, which was a solstice celebration, and winter replaced Christmas was set right in the same time as, oh god, it was the Roman Saturnalia, which was a celebration of, like, you know, winter and, you know, Saturn, which was, I believe, Roman version of Kronos, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to double check that. The Roman fucking names always annoy me. Gods, no, not that thing. No. No, that's way too fucking far. Seriously, the neck? You barely be able to see out of that. Wow, that's like a full jumpsuit. Holy shit. Man, oh man. I'll send you a picture of it, Fred, once we're done with stream. Halloween miracle, when dead walks around the living, punishing them for their vicious mockery. Anyway, my point basically was, like, trust me, you don't have to worry about Halloween being satanic. It was essentially the Christian-approved holiday You get a religious pass for Halloween, I think. Just on the sense that it was literally created so you didn't celebrate other pagan holidays. Alright. Got it. This is really giving me Nightmare Mensis vibes. Oh, come on! A fucking boulder? Really? It was Saint Tannic. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I should have... That is a top tier pun right there. Code and Assembly. That is a top tier pun. Top tier pun right there, Assembly. Good job. Oh shit. Grab attack, grab attack. Oh, man. Ooh, boy. These same people who believe Pokemon are satanic, and D&D is satanic, and blah, 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 can't rationalize with crazy. That's just the way the world is. You can't rationalize with the crazy people. The day after is All Hallows Day or All Saints Day. Yeah, exactly. Again, it was the Christian-approved holiday. That was literally the point, was that it was okay for Christians to celebrate this, because it was nice and approved by the church. Which, you know, is kind of interesting. It would be way more interesting if it was like a one-off thing, but Christianity kind of did it a lot, and so it lost all the special vibe to it. It became just like what Christianity did when they ran into a holiday they didn't like. Oh shit. Oh shit, the dogs are giving me frenzy. The dogs are giving me instant kill blight frenzy. No please, no please. Day before, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and again, I'd have to go look up all the other ones, if they did any other times. The only ones I'm aware of are the Saturnalia being replaced with Christmas, Easter replacing Ostrava, and, what was it? Unless you hate the Catholic Church and all their holidays. And you know what? Some people really didn't like the Catholic Church. So, and All Hallows Eve / Halloween replacing Samhain. There are probably other ones. I mostly know about them because the concepts get reutilized a lot in fiction. Like, if you're gonna have any sort of like magic society, particularly something with druidic themes that existed in, you know, as like a secret society, or they were persecuted by the church, a really, really good way to build up tension and stuff like that is to be like, yes, the church tried to eliminate us before we went into hiding, and they replaced all our holidays and blah, blah, blah. Even during my dad's time. Yeah. Most festive holidays are Christianized version of pagan holidays. Well, yeah, because people were already celebrating these dates. They did it long before Christianity came about. Christianity is a pretty newcomer to human society as a whole. And people were already having parties on most of the days where we have parties now. Yes, we have more holidays that we celebrate these days, but because I think as a whole we probably have more holidays than they did in the past. Mostly just because we have days off work. But I'd say about, like, the holidays we really celebrate, the get-together with family, or the days off where we actually, like, have a party or a grill, I feel like those are about even. Just, like, you know, there were a lot more, like, seasonal festivals and stuff like that, but we also have things like 4th of July, or, you know, Martin Luther King Day, or Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is a lot of fun, though. Which, Mardi Gras was the extension of Carnival. which we you know, our version of it, I guess, which was also very Christian. I'm not sure if that one had any sort of pagan roots or not, or non-Christian roots, I guess should say, because pagan roots really just means like anything that was not Christian and not monotheistic, which is not entirely exclusive. There were a handful of monotheistic religions aside from Christianity that didn't quite take off. Zoroastrianism is a big one. For example, Zoroastrianism actually has a weird story about a man with snakes. Alright, let's see how good this spell is. Wow, that thing sucks. Well, this spell is terrible. I was hoping that golden shower spell would actually be good, but it's actually really bad. Dance with Phantom Blades that unleash a return. Trying to find something else that would actually be good as like a big whoop-ass kind of magic. But the lasers are just whatever. And it takes like a really long... I really hate that all the, like, the big spells have not been that impactful. The Golden Shower in particular did a lot of damage, but it's like really, really long cast time apparently. And which will make it easy to get stunned out of. Which is frustrating. Oh shit, no. Okay, that looks pretty good. I can probably make this work. It also has like a forward directional, but like in a different way than most of the other spells, which are projectiles. Most festive holidays are Christianized versions. Big amalgamations of various culture versions. Yeah, pretty much. I imagine there were other things besides just like the ones I mentioned that got replaced. Would not surprise me. I'm not sure. I don't know for certain, but it wouldn't surprise me to learn that they were actively trying to replace multiple at once. Alright. Another Radiant Red Feather. Let's go. But no, it is one of those, like, really fun facts you can, like, throw out at a party and have everyone go, oh, huh. Which is always really fun to do because it makes people think. It's not just a fun fact for the sake of having a fun fact. It makes them reevaluate things. Think through stuff. Not always. Sometimes they just are like, huh, neat, and chick it away. But it does make some people think through stuff. Alright, we need to kill one of these guys before we go any further. Shit. 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 I am not just running away for no reason. They are big and scary and have big long combos. And I am indeed terrified of them. 100%. That thing, it scares me. I am scared of no man. But that thing... I really do love how you can actually see how the enemy operates here. Look, they are once they're aware of you, they will hunt you down the moment you pop back in their hitbox. Like, they're like running away for now. They look like they're de-aggro, but nope, they're actually always aggro. So it looks like once the aggro switch is flipped, it's flipped permanently. But if you get out of their area, their whatever box, I guess, they operate in, it clearly doesn't follow them. It's not like enemies you can lure into entirely different areas, which I've seen before. Come on, give me my next point. Alright, there we are. Fireball. Boom. Alright. Fireball. And dead. Perfect. Alright, let's see. What else can we talk about? Well, I finished the, so I mentioned this earlier. I finished the 4th book in the Tear Down Heaven series. I did mention last time that I was like, there are a few issues with it, but I am really looking forward to the ending. Mostly because it's going to be my standout example of how to use Sumerian mythology. Mostly because Sumerian mythology is so underutilized. There's not a lot we have. Ishtar is a badass, and Gilgamesh was an asshole is about what you have to work with. There are a few niche references, like Tiamat, or Enzu, or Abzan, or Anu, King of the Gods, or the Queen of the Underworld, or Enkidu, the Wild Man from Gilgamesh's legends. But a lot of it is very... I mean, it's the OG civilization, so I guess I shouldn't say generic, but it's a bit generic, you know? It's Sumeria, it's Babylon, it is Civilization Test Run 1.0, you know? At least it has that vibe. Were you expecting one of the oldest stories in history to not be sort of cliche? Alright. Let's move our despair. Ratchet and Clank from PS2 called Once Its Technological Solutions Back. Oh shit. This is not where I want to fight this thing, actually. Alright. And Vorpal Blade, Vorpal Blade, Vorpal Blade. Got it. Okay. Now I want to get over here. Get out of sight. Shit. So we're going to deal with the boulder, which is really annoying. I hope there's only one of them. Knowing my luck, there is not. And he's out of range. Perfect. Vorpal Blade, Vorpal Blade. They could just let you lure enemies. This is not Ratchet and Clank bullshit. I mean, even Dark Souls had area limits, I think, on enemies, for the most part. And that had, like, a fully interconnected world, with the exception of the DLC. Alright, we want to be really careful, because we're, like, really far from a spawn point, and I do not want to reset. I also have to deal with, like, the instant kill aura. Which is not fun. Shit. Oh, shit. God damn it. Alright, we're eating bunnies. Eating bunnies. Vorpal Blade. Vorpal Blade. Shit. Alright, we're there, we're good, we're good, we're good. Got this. Come on, don't die on me now. Please let there be a shrine somewhere nearby, because I am, like, very... I'm out of healing flasks. I'm very close to death. I would very much like a shrine now, please. I'm begging you, game. Please. Just a shrine. Just a shrine. Or a shortcut back to my old shrine. I'm not picky. I'm gonna explore different directions cautiously. Ooh. Oh, I think this is a shortcut. I think this is a shortcut. How do I get up there? I can see a ladder. Nope, that's a big boy. That's a big boy enemy. We're not gonna tussle with him right this second. We're not gonna tussle with him right this second. I only have 3 bunnies left. Gods. Relatively new to Souls. So does build make sense, or can you just level up the shite of your character? Which game are you talking about? Because if you're talking about Dark Souls 1, You can mostly do what you feel like, you know, level up the stats your weapon's using, that kind of thing. I recommend leveling up endurance and vigor and vitality, or whatever the health stat is, if you're going for like anything that wants to be in close combat. Honestly, just having a decent amount of health makes sense in general. Endurance is mostly if you're going to be using a lot of melee weapons, you want some. You want at least a little bit of endurance, even if you're doing a spellcaster. And also, do not level resistance. Resistance is a scam. You will get resistance from armor and just leveling up any other stat. Leveling up resistance is a waste of energy in Dark Souls 1. It is a scam stat. It is the only scam stat. All the others are good depending on what you're doing. You do generally want to specialize rather than do a quality build. Quality builds are a thing, but they're generally not as effective as specializing. Stops you from leveling everything. Just name them all. Oh, you can level everything. 100%. You can level up to 99 every stat. But it requires exponentially more souls. And in Dark Souls 1 at least, there's not really a good way to respec. So eventually, monster, impeccable. Come, let's slay that fiend together. There's a shrine here because I don't want to go fight the fiend or his inner demon while I'm low on health. Can we please shrine me, please? Shrine, please. Anyone? Oh, no, 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 no. We're not doing this. I know a bullshit trap when I see one, assholes. Yeah, you thought you were gonna clamshell drop down from the ceiling? Thought you were gonna surprise me? Demon Souls does have a way to D-level, but it's only in the late game. When I by late game, I mean basically the last boss. There is technically another boss after it, but it's story boss, not challenge boss. The False King is the point where you'll be able to D-level. He has an attack that will drain a soul level from you and basically kill you. You can use that to D-level and respec. But in Dark Souls, I believe 2... Yeah, Dark Souls 2 and beyond, you can respec fairly easily. They all have things like somewhat midway through the game that allow you to respec as you please. Alright, got him. Got it. What it means, even Legendary Skulkers Edition can be turned into a joke. Hope you're more interested in DS2. Well, okay, so you say that, but dude, you haven't seen some of the soul requirements. After a certain point, it becomes functionally impossible to just, like, bullshit your way through. And even with, like, max health, you can still be fairly easily killed because stat increase isn't a linear progression. It's sort of this, like, exponential / logarithmic curve where there's a soft cap after a certain point. And once you reach the soft cap, you don't stop leveling. You don't stop gaining points per se, but let's just say that the difference between 60 levels in vigor or vitality or whatever and 80 is like the difference between, you know, 5 and 15. It is such you remember, you need a lot more a lot more whatever the currency is in each game, souls or blood echoes, to get that much, that new level. So it becomes exponentially diminishing returns, and eventually you just don't want to do it. Don't get me wrong, I've played max level characters before. Usually because I found some kind of soul farming method that was just absurd. But even with things like the Albinor Genocide in Elden Ring, where you can Ravian like hundreds of thousands and not millions of runes in a few seconds, it is exhausting. And again, just not worth it. But still, even getting to like pseudo max level, which would be like before the soft caps, you know, like 60 vigor, like 80 vigor, 80 in like all your combat stats, and like 99 in your strength, because your strength is a weird two-handed thing that actually is kind of cool. Even if you do all of that, it's still going to take you hours and hours. You could just be playing the game. Yes, you can make the game your bitch if you're willing to spend hours grinding after already having gotten to a point where it's feasible to grind. Because there are certain points in the game where you could technically grind, I guess, but it's just not worth it because the enemies around you aren't really giving you stuff. Generally, wherever you are, the best way to gain souls is to kill the next boss. So you're encouraged to just go kill the next boss. You know? Cap schmaps. I'm gonna be God. Oh, no. You're not gonna be God. Doesn't matter how good you get. Go to New Game Plus and fight some bosses and they'll still kick you around a bit. And even if you're doing stuff with, like, really powerful stuff, even if you have all the power in the world, go through enough New Game Plus rounds and it's gonna start kicking your teeth in again. Like, even a New Game Plus, like, 7, I think, is when the difficulty caps. At that point, even if you are max leveled, you're gonna get hurt going against some bosses. Plus, again, if you really want to just, like, get yourself maxed, you can probably get, like, a pretty max character around, like, level 200. Because if you max out the stats you're mainly doing damage with, you'll be fine. You don't need a max... There's a whole Only Waifu video that describes why, like, max level is just kind of dumb. I do recommend it, actually. Okay. And we're gonna upgrade sword. And where else? Where else? Cost lost remains. Mana potency, mana capacity. Alright. Let's see, what else? I don't have my thing upgrade all the way. Again, you're gonna be dealing plenty of damage, like, well before then. Once you get to level 120, you're basically like a god killer in Dark Souls. You can still die, because even if your health bar gets really high up, and you have a decent amount of endurance and can wear heavy armor, bosses can still kill you in a decent number of hits. Like, you're not going to be invincible. Normal enemies, sure, and if you know what you're doing, you can probably make a boss just your chump. But if you get cocky, bosses will smack you around. And here's a little tip. There are bosses who will just knock you into the infinite abyss. And I'm sorry to say, but no amount of leveling or heavy armor will save you if the unrelenting load decides to jump you. The ceaseless discharge decides to drop you into an infinite pit. You're going to be dead, boy. So there are some bosses who you're still going to suck at. Oh, gods. Also, if you play Dark Souls. Oh, gods. Okay. Look, I know you've been told Dark Souls is a flawless masterpiece, okay? The people who said that are liars. There is a flaw. It's this big, gaping wound we don't like to talk about called the Lost Izalith. Basically, there's this part of the game that was, how do we say this? Unfinished. Extremely unfinished with eye-searing lava. And I think the remake made it worse. The lava is still very eye-searing. I apologize. There's a platforming boss. In a game where the jump button is R3 while you're running. Oh, gods. It is... We all apologize for Lost Izalith. It's not Miyazaki's fault. He was on a deadline. The Demon Ruins in Lost Izalith are, like, blatantly unfinished. There's a lot of, like, reused enemies. They literally took two of the bosses and copy-pasted a bunch of times in an open field. That kind of stuff. It's... Dark Souls is an amazing game, and I'd say a good 90% of it holds up to that quality. But Lost Izalith is not part of that 90%, unfortunately speaking. Got him. Beware the lava. Beware so many things. Skip most of it using Solaire. There's a shortcut you can unlock. Look up the guide for it. Trust me, you're not missing much. Like, legitimately, look up the shortcut guide for Lost Islet. You are not missing anything. You are saving yourself from misery that we all wish we could forget. Not the fun kind of misery that you learn from. The kind of misery that makes you go, that was a pointless, miserable experience that I learned nothing and experienced nothing of joy. Why did I do this to myself? For the joy of a game? But it's already over now. Because this is the last place I went to. Because reasonably, Lost Islet is generally the last old Lore Souls you go to. Because it's one of the hardest places to get back to. So why would you fucking torture yourself so much? I'm sorry. People talk about Blighttown, and I'm just like, guys, Blighttown isn't the bad part. Blighttown is somewhat fair. Oh, younger me would... Earlier versions of me would be so annoyed about that.
Days ago, I went to the woods and these weary bones
Could not outrun them.
out those who were caught alongside.
Oh, shit.
My days are...
Demon Souls is ridiculous when it comes to leveling, because you're going for Dragon Shield, and one dead later, killing everyone, you're over level enough. Dragon Shield? What are you talking about, Dragon Shield? Demon Souls is easy because magic makes the entire game your bitch. Seriously, just level up intellect and mind and watch the entire game bend over backwards for you. It's not complicated. Demon Souls is probably the easiest of them all when it comes to leveling. Look, the enemies are fighting each other. Oh shit. Got wrecked. I mean, like, you can try going, like, the shield route, but honestly, dude, magic is OP. Just so overpowered. Go to the Tower of Latria, grab your Soul Ray, and make the entire world bend over. And then if you need fire, for, like, the few things that are magic resistant, magic would be overkill at that point. Claymore and shield as labeled. Well, the Claymore is always a solid weapon. I've got at least you have taste. The Claymore is a solid weapon. It is a good all-rounder that can be good for infusions. I used it on a magic build as like a magic greatsword before I found the Moonlight Greatsword, because the Moonlight Greatsword is really fun too. The main reason I don't recommend Moonlight Greatsword in Demon Souls is because you have to go through the Valley of Defilement to get it. And it's in this secret area that you can only unlock once you have pure world tendency. So when I say go through the Valley of Defilement, I mean you have to beat the entire Valley of Defilement area in order to basically unlock it, which is really annoying. You could unlock it earlier back when there was multiplayer, and theoretically you could do it by letting yourself be summoned, but functionally, if you're not taking into account online shenanigans, you have to beat the entire area, which means beating Main Estrella and Garl Vinland. And while Maiden Estrella is not the threat, she's a tragic example of the world. Spirit of Gut speaks to me. Oh, well, here's a tip then. You know, strength. So, if you two-hand a weapon in a Souls game, you basically get a virtual strength number that's 1.5 times your strength, and that's what the weapon uses. And here's a very special tip. That number can go over 99. So if you get 99 strength, what you're actually doing here is having a weapon that is a virtual strength of 148. Now, remember what I said about diminishing returns. It's not going to be like, you know, an extra 50 levels. But it's kind of close to an extra 25 levels, and that increase is not insignificant for dual-handing a weapon. It also kind of makes the amount of strength you use to get that number kind of worth it. So, if you want to do strength builds can be very effective by two-handing. I've had to double check to make sure. I would double check to make sure. I know that's how it still works in Elden Ring. I'm not sure. I would like to double check to make sure that's how it works in Dark Souls 2 because it's been a while, but I'm nearly positive it does do that in Dark Souls. Demon Souls, I'd need to be extra certain, but if we're doing the remake, probably absolutely. But yeah, two-handing it can get you a ton more. If you're going to do strength, you want a two-hand. Because, first off, you're going to get more damage on your swings, which is just good. And besides, we all know, Guts might be able to one-hand, but you don't have a robot arm with a cannon in it, so this will be your countermeasure for that. Also, you can get buffs from shields that have passive effects by just having it on your back. So, you can have a shield that has, like, regeneration or something on your back while you're two-handing something. It's really cool. Or stamina regeneration. There's generally a shield that has, like, a stamina regeneration buff, which will help you hit harder and faster again and again. You can actually get some crazy numbers. There's a reason people go off on the Strength Chad meme. I'm still more of a Dex intellect builder, occasionally into Faith, but there is something to be said for just going Strength and hammering things with a big stick. It's a viable strat in the game. Extremely viable, especially in PvP. PvE, sorry, not PvP. PvP, it's a little bit less viable sometimes. It just depends. Like with PvP, it's all about like what the meta is. Like some games will have a very heavy focused meta, and others will have a light or medium focused meta. It just depends on the game. I wasn't using a shield at all, and then because I was weak for the Claymore one-handed shield, just using it as a weapon, could easily use it to beat the Guardian of Boletaria, Guardian of the Mausoleum. Oh, you killed Old King. Ah, I see. Wait, you killed the Old King? Well, how did you kill him? Like, great swording him? That man will one-shot or two-shot you basically no matter what your level is. How the fuck did you do that? I mean, I've beaten him before, don't get me wrong. I've even beaten him in melee combat at low level before. But, like, he's not an easy fight. In fact, he's harder than most of the bosses. Most people cheese him with poison clouds and shit. Oh, shit. You're talking about the Old King, right? The one used to get the demon slaying sword? Soul brand? Or demon brand? I forget which one is supposed to be kill humans and which one's supposed to kill demons, because I think they have an opposite thing, but then sometimes I think they don't, and blah blah blah. You know how it is. Kind itself on the breach. Find which boss you're talking about in the wiki and like post it in chat, because I'm not sure. Are you talking about the red? Oh, you're talking about the knight. Are you talking about the knight that guards the door? Not the guy in the mausoleum. You're talking about the knight outside the mausoleum. Okay. That's just a regular red-eyed knight. You'll get used to them. They're pretty normal. You'll have to fight them. You'll have to fight a bunch of those in the room. I was about to say, if you killed Old King Dorian using a sword, you're basically ready for the rest of the game. Like, I don't care what you've what level you are. If you can kill Old King Dorian, you're basically good to go. All right. This is like early game, like early. Yeah. You're in like the earliest part of the game, the Boletarian Palace Assault. Yeah. I get it. No, I get it, man. Red Knights can be a pain in the early game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not impressive you killed one pretty easily. Claymore is an excellent weapon, though. It's a very solid weapon with a very good moveset. It has thrusting attacks for those tight corridors, but it's still a great sword with good range. It's considered one of the all-around, just like really solid weapons. And it maintains this rating basically throughout the Souls series. Whenever you find the Claymore, you know for a fact you found a decent weapon that if you want to use it to carry you through the rest of the game, you can absolutely use it to carry the rest of the game. There are weapons that do almost everything it does better, but it does a little bit of everything really well. It can be used on basically any stat spread depending on how you're, depending on how much you you're willing to invest in it and how much you're willing to infuse it. If you magic infuse it, it can be good for a magic user because it's a pretty low stat investment greatsword. If you're a strength build, you can infuse it with strength or heavy infusements to really get the bonuses out of it and still have a good solid moveset with a fast swing time. If you're a dex build, hey, it's a low strength greatsword, so maybe if you're wanting something a bit heavier with some stagger potential, it could be good for that. And faith builds can also just infuse it with whatever faith magic, or it's a solid raw infusion they can buff with, you know, their weird enchantment bullshit. Same actually for magic, too. Level up a bit. There he is on the ground watching you raise the shield to make a guillotine when he humiliated Lays. You have not yet begun to understand the cruelty of the Bolitarian Palace. There are fucking assholes who will throw boulders at you, and dragons breathing fire. Have you seen the dragon breathing the fire on bridges, man? Should be real. Should be real. Swing. Bam. Honestly, there are some areas that are too. One of the really cool things is when you get to the dragon breathing fire on the bridge, you can get to the first area and just shoot it with arrows. Trust me, you're gonna want to just deal with it. It's better than running back and forth down that bridge every time we want to fight the Tower Knight. Just kill it with arrows. It's worth the 30 minutes. Trust me, the moment you have to rerun that gauntlet one time, it's worth it to just shoot it with arrows. You just make sure you have a few hundred arrows on you. You have a decent-ish bow. The longbow you can get in like the first zone. And you go ahead and you make sure that you're stocked up enough to kill it, and you just shoot once or twice as it flies by over and over again. Eventually it'll end up dead. You can't. That's one of the things I like too, is that there's a hazard and you can. The hybrid mana change. At first I didn't care. Card live in chat has changed my mind. How has card live in chat changed your mind? Because I was already thinking of cards like these when people made the arguments over like, this is a card that can be played in this deck but is meant for this deck. And one of my arguments for that, like the difference between a card like Crackling Trident versus a split card is, a split card you can play in either white or green. This you can play in a blue deck or an Izzet deck. It can't really be played in a mono red deck unless you have like some form of red mana. So like, how did this change your mind? I'm curious about that. Because like I said, this can't be played in a red deck. So like, do you change your mind in favor because you're like more clearly seeing that they're for it, or did you change it against it in somehow? Plume Vortex. Oh, this is very clearly like feathering magic, but no, it's regular magic. So dealing damage while sending enemies flying and causing great stagger. That could be useful. Even with the change, you're not allowed to play it in mono blue decks. Yeah, you're not. Yeah, true. You're not allowed to play it in a mono blue deck. So that does kind of identify like one of the arguments for not changing it, right? Is that it's command color identity. If we start making exceptions and changing it, we basically have to change color identity. The change is not consistent. So your argument is not just that, not even just that, like, you know, the difference in like what can be played where. Oh dear, is Wuchang. I think the game is about to crash, guys. I think the game is about to crash. Yep, there it goes. There it goes. I've encountered a fatal error. Alright, let's pop this back up. So your argument is essentially, if this were an idea we wanted to do, we'd change it to be consistent. So we'd have to basically do away with the color identity for it, which would also destroy a lot of 5-color commanders. If you decide to do away with the color identity, yeah, it's just either get rid of color identity for deck building or leave it. this half. So basically, what you're saying is the half-life measure of what infuriates you. It's not even like one side or the other. It's do it or don't do it. Don't undo it halfway. I agree. And I'll say this: I'm for keeping color identity consistent. That was my thing too. I'm not sure if I talked about it that much, but one of my things I got the most annoyed about it is it makes it more confusing for deck building. We used to be able to, because the color identity is actually really simple to explain to someone. It's, do you see this color mana symbol anywhere on the card? You can't put it in your deck. There was always the thing of, oh, but if it's reminder text, actually, that doesn't count. But the reminder text thing comes up so rarely, it's not a thing. Like, the Haunt cards are one of the only examples I can really think of where reminder text is a thing. And Haunt is a very low card count mechanic. Even compared to, like, split cards. But, like, yeah, that's been my thing for me, is it's really easy to tell people currently what does or doesn't fit in your deck. Check the card for these mana symbols, which ones you find, the deck you're in has to have all of them. It's a really simple, it's easy to understand. Yeah, exactly. Golgari Guildmage. It's a split card, but it only belongs in a Golgari deck. It doesn't belong in anything. This is actually one that's not even going to be affected by the change. But it's just like an example of why this change probably shouldn't be a thing. Exactly, yeah. Oh wow, this is like, ooh, very classical. This card can be played in a mono...
The wheel of fate turns beyond our eyes.
Mono black or mono red deck? Which card?
In this
Oh, mono green.
timeless
No, it
illusion.
can't, because it would have the black mana symbol and the green... Oh, it can be played as in a deck. Yeah, it could... Holy shit, she's like a full-on peacock person.
At last, we have come before me.
She's a sorceress. Okay. Wow, she looks like less body horror than the others. Like, all the others have looked like bloody and disgusting, but she kind of looks like weirdly peacock beautiful, you know? Oh, shit. Oh, gods.
I shall cleanse all.
Boom. Fireball. So she's not taking a lot of fire damage. Yeah, I see what you're saying there. It can be played in a mono green or a mono black deck, but it is Golgari identity. Swamps can be played in a mono white deck. I mean, technically it can be played in any deck then by those rules, because Yavimaya and Urborg are a thing. It could be played in a colorless deck if that's the way you want to do it. Like, if it's possible to. Is this just a land building restriction? Because in that case, any card can be played anywhere. Because multicolor lands that don't have a color in their identity are a thing. Okay, I really need to switch my fire magic to something else because this sorceress lady has some serious elemental resistance here. And is also just kicking my ass. Holy shit. I've done like no damage even though I've done multiple fireballs. My bread and butter! She's resistant to my fire! Oh gods. But yeah, forest can be played in any deck.
A mere mortal
Damn it!
thinks to
Congrats,
best
we have
me.
discovered normal deck building. Yeah, but like my point is that's the point, right? That we basically they're trying to like keep the commander color identity thing, but like not keep it. And eventually it's like if you start doing this, I feel like it just ends up to normal deck building again. And the color restriction is one of the things that makes Commander interesting. Like, I have decks that would love to play things. Actually, there's a really cool example of this. Yeah, the extort mechanic. Now, there is actually a really interesting example of this. It's not just actually mana value, I guess, because they also have cards that are like, well, it's a flip card, actually. That there are rules for that. Flip cards that flip into multicolor are multicolor. Even if the no, it cannot, because the other side is a multicolor planeswalker. Flip cards that... I was actually about to bring that up. There's a werewolf that is mono green on the front side, but it is mono blue on the back side. And it's like unblockable. And I wanted to put in my werewolf deck because that'd be really sick. But I couldn't. The black side is black white. Exactly. The back side is black white. So it can't be played in a monocolor deck, even with the multicolor rule. And also, Haunt is a rules text, which means that card isn't the mana value isn't technically on the card because rules text, which I already brought up earlier as an explanation. So you can't play that in a mono black deck. Theoretically, if we're going by can you play it rules of normal Magic decks, you can play it. You still won't even with the change. Yes, I know. Here's my question, though. There's a werewolf that's a multicolor card. Actually, let me bring it up real quick, because I'm dead right now. I'm trying to think to my new strategies anyway. I'm going to bring this link up and post it in chat real quick moment. Just a real quick like. There's a werewolf that has a similar situation to it. Wolf color equals blue. I'm sorry, it's a blue werewolf that's green on the black side. Should this be playable in mono blue? It's the same basic premise. Now I probably couldn't play this in my Tovolar deck regardless, actually, because I thought I for some reason I thought the blue side was the back side, but no. You still can play in your werewolf deck even with the change. But like, you know, by our current thing of, well, you could technically. I mean, the fuck is the point of deck restrictions at this point? If you're gonna fuck with it, I feel like once you start fucking with the commander identity and giving it more specialized rules, it becomes pointless, and it's eventually gonna lead to decks just being regular deck building again. Which also just strips a lot of the interesting parts of commander deck building out of the water. The fact that I can't play Suspicious Stowaway or Seafaring Werewolf is a restriction. For my Tovolar deck. The fact that I can't put the white token... I now hate the change. The fact that I can't put the token doublers in my Goblin deck is a restriction that helps to balance Goblins. Like, imagine if it falls apart completely and you start seeing Anointed Procession in Goblin decks. I know it sounds like a slippery slope argument, but like it legitimately feels like it's going to deprive Commander of all the stuff that makes it interesting. Or at least it'll start down the path to depriving it of all the stuff that makes it interesting. And that feels really overblown, like I'm exaggerating or, you know, taking it way too far. Yeah. I mean, I kind of already understood that, like, on an intellectual level. I do like that I got to explain it a bit more to myself and think through it a bit more. But I already know and I kind of disliked the change. On one part, I do want to play more cards, and I see the impulse for it, too. Like, I get the impulse for other people to, like, please just let me play these split cards. Please, please. But I'm like, no, please don't. Don't. Once we start making exceptions, then the rules stop meaning as much. They really do. For me, it really is that kind of thing, where the rules stop having as much meaning once you start making exceptions. Because then it becomes easier to make more exceptions. Before you know it, what was once a simple rule that can be easily explained becomes a thing of, well, that's a rule 0 change. Yeah. Also, like, the old... Yeah, actually, wasn't that basically the old Commander Rules Committee's entire philosophy? Was that if you want to do weird stuff like play with uncards or banned cards or split cards, or, you know, split mana cost cards, it's a rule 0 discussion. Hey guys, I would like to play this deck, and I'd like to include these cards because they'll be really fun for my deck, and they're split cards, and I can still technically play them. Can we just pretend they're monocolored symbols? You could even have a rules discussion where it's like, alright, you decide what color that is, write it down so we don't remember it, and hey, it's just a mono blue card. We'll even treat it like a mono blue card in the game or something like that. Because that's what Rule 0 is for. Rule 0 was, if it's fun, you can do it if you talk about it with your play group. Oh, God. Oh, shit. Let me try and swap out some things here. I'm going to try Lightning, and I think Magic was doing decent damage. She's shooting Holy Beam, so that's probably not going to do that great amount of damage either. Hasbro subsidiary. I mean, it feels like they would want that kind of thing too, though. Like, split cards are already... Dual color mana symbol cards, the split mana cost cards, already see tons of play. It's not like they're rare cards to see out in the game. Like, I see plenty of people playing with dual split mana cost cards. Actually, I recently... I played with the... Oh, that was a secret boss. This is a different area. I'm gonna want my fireball. I played with the Beseech the Queen, which is that one that would be like pseudo, potentially even colorless if this change went in. Which I think that honestly the change that makes me the most upset is the ones where it's like a mana value and colorless. We're heading to Laurelwind, remember? Oh, you think they're gonna do? You think this is specifically being done for the same reason that vehicles were done when we're heading towards that spaceship focus set? So what are they going to do? Change the rules every time we go to a thematically relevant set where the rules change would mean they would sell more cards? What rules will be left? That's stupid. That's so stupid. Also, this is a beautiful area that looks like a boss arena, but it's not a boss arena. That's making me very nervous. There's no boss here. That's making me super duper nervous. Maybe I have to head towards the full moon. Because you know they allowed vehicles to be your commander now. Which, to be fair, I am actually a lot more tolerant towards the vehicles can be your commander thing. Because we have commanders that can take a bit of effort to get out. There's like a commander that comes into play as a land. And you have to like put a certain number of counters on it before it comes a land. Or you have the enchantment creatures that you have to get a certain number of enchantments out before they're, you know, a creature. Like the Theros gods. So I'm actually more okay with the vehicles being commanders, personally. I am genuinely okay with that. But I do think we're... Okay, what is even going on here? Be glad WotC wasn't even controlled during Lord of the Spark. Oh, gods. Oh, no. No. If there is a line, I will defend to the death. And I am a scummy player, so please understand. This comes from the place of someone who would abuse the shit out of this. Planeswalkers must never be allowed to become commanders. Ever. It can never be allowed to occur. Okay, what is going on here? I feel like I am, I feel like I'm missing something. Very important. Maybe I don't have a key item? This feels like a very relevant place for the story. Like, this is where I'm supposed to summon the final boss or something, or open up, like, it feels like I'm supposed to open up the Hollow Knight's chamber here. But I just don't have the special items required. Feels very significant, but there's nothing to interact with, and no boss comes out to jump me. Very weird, very odd. You know what? It's 9:30. This seems like a good time to actually, like, take a break, take a breather. So, I think this is where we're gonna stop for tonight. We seem to be approaching the end, though. We do genuinely seem to be approaching the end of this game, which is going to be very interesting to see. Let's see if we can get back somewhere real quick. I love all these shortcuts I'm knocking down, though. Oh, look, it's the crazy lady.
The downfall of mortals. The downfall of mortals.
The primordial
The
punishment.
primordial deity's punishment.
The fact that
The
you're
fact
still...
that you're still standing means you're chosen. Either way.
She has a very
I was
Aztec
set
look
here
to
by
her.
the primordial deity
Maybe I'm just,
himself.
like, biased. I haven't seen a lot of Chinese stuff, but, like, the feathering, a lot of, like, the style of the crown, for example, these give me some severe Aztec vibes. Is it just me, or does she give me, like, anybody else, like, severe Aztec vibes?
Would save the world. Would you do it?
Maybe I just haven't seen a lot of ancient Chinese garb.
Then follow.
I feel like I agreed to a dark bargain. Anyway, yeah, we'll chat later. We will definitely have to chat this weekend. I have a lot to talk about. So I'll see you on Saturday, and this seems to be the end of our return to Wuchang. I finally figured out where I was, made some progress. We'll go kill that peacock lady next time. See you guys. Bye.